दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲನೆ
Hyderabad Punjab Express, University Station, Netaji Pavut.
Hello. The age of adolescence is gone. The IPL turns 18. It's now a proper adult. And while it's getting really hot outside, it's my job to welcome all of you to this fantastic show that we call Voltas Fresh Air Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. And when it comes to adolescence, to very young entities in this Cricbuzz Live building, Bhattacharjya, who is apparently now making a reputation as a Greek god, getting a lot of compliments for his weight loss and his brand new looks. Sir, what's up?
I can only tell you one thing, that if you all knew what Greek gods did most of the time, I don't want that reputation.
We will stick to the good looks part of it. And Mr. Kartik, once again, brings his childlike enthusiasm to Voltas Fresh Air Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live, sir.
You know, there was a pause when you said, I've got two gentlemen. And there was a pause. And I was just trying to figure out, you have spoken about somebody turning 18. And I didn't know what you were going to say, that there were two old hags sitting here. Huh? I didn't know what you were
there from the very start.
Exactly.
Not old. They are young, very virile, is what I've been told, but we won't go there. They have a lot of stories. Mr. Kartik, Bhattacharjya, both of them were part of that opening game, 18th April 2008. And it's been such a whirlwind journey for this league, which is clearly the greatest cricket league in the world. You were on the field on that day and you were in the dugout. Fond memories.
Very fond memories. Firstly, I would like to tell everybody that he was in charge of our side. And all my life, the manager bit, I made him the damager. So with love, I call him the damager. And when you think of that game, it's actually a blur. The reason why I say that is we had a huge sort of an expectation around it. All that was told to us before the tournament started. Yeah. And then that opening ceremony was epic. I thought I've never seen a better opening ceremony. And when Brendan McCullum started batting, and I kid you not, Ajit Agarkar and me were sat side by side in that dugout with our man sitting behind us. And when he started hitting, and then when the edges were flying over third, one-handed sixes. And I'm thinking, should I feel happy that our batter is hitting? Or should I feel scared that this is going to happen to us too? Because in the opposition, you've got Kallis, you've got Zaheer Khan, you've got Sunil Joshi, all those guys getting smashed. And me and Ajit were looking at each other, clapping and then thinking, so, is it going to happen to us too?
Kartik went from, oh my God, to, oh God, what's up? What do we do now?
Yeah, but thankfully, nothing like that happened because we skittled them out for 81 or something like that.
The whole of India and world cricket owes a big thank you to Brendan McCullum.
Absolutely. Because if you see the next game, I think the next day Delhi played, and Delhi played Rajasthan, and Delhi just smashed Rajasthan. Yeah. I think they've got 120 odd, they scored it easily. If that had been the first game of the tournament,
what a damn squib.
It would never have. Brendan McCullum took the IPL on his shoulders and carried it. And that spark that he gave, that spark has stayed. And you know, it's not just about Brendan McCullum hitting, it's a spirit with which he played the game.
Yeah.
He'd run out to the bowlers. And I remember Zach's completely same, that expression Bim used when that edge went for 6. You remember?
Yeah.
And he's like...
I remember each and everything because, see, Jada, if you think of it, even you take Brendan McCullum's innings away, the next best was 30?
Yeah.
Ricky Ponting, was it?
I think 22.
22. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Wow.
So if that had been this kind of start, you take that 158 or whatever he got away. Yeah. It just was a completely different sort of a game. So literally you say it has turned 18 today. I would say it turned 18 on that day itself.
It took off and how on that magnificent day 18 years ago.
On the 18th of April.
18th of April. This year though, I've been told, the narrative is IPL 18 for number 18 from RCB will come to Virat Kohli. But Joy, 17 years, this league has become India's obsession. It's become a happy habit. We can't imagine April and May without the IPL. Lots of memories. Is there one core memory that will stay with you forever?
I think my most core memories are, I mean, you have to have 2-3 memories. One of them is watching it from outside and one from inside. For me, 2010, watching the television with almost the entire KKR team watching Punjab playing CSK at Dharamshala. And knowing that match, if they lose, we are through.
Yeah.
And then Dhoni smashing them and taking that game away. I think from the outside, that game and 2014, when Mumbai had to do it in 13 overs. And even Rahul Dravid got so upset when Rajasthan lost it that he threw his cap. And I've never seen Dravid do anything like that in the field.
Yeah.
So I think that was the outside. And on the inside, lots of memories. I mean, that first match had so many memories that are difficult to count.
Correct.
The other one I remember, as I said, was when we won first in 2012. And moment we won, Trevor Bayliss called everyone into the dressing room. And he shut all the doors and he said, look, if the world will want to talk to you, party with you for the next God knows how many days, these 5 minutes, enjoy it with just the people who were together for this entire journey.
Amazing.
So 5 minutes, we just, and most of us didn't even talk. We just sat, put an arm around each other with just this thing. And those 5 minutes were so special, it's not funny.
Kartik, you've seen the IPL from two very different vantage points. One as player, now as broadcaster, now an important part of the Cricbuzz family as well. You would have enough stories to write a book.
Question is what you can put inside the book.
Well done.
A book that's only for private consumption.
You know, the funniest is the 2009 thing where that whatever fake IPL player, everybody thought it was me.
It wasn't you, right?
No, it wasn't me.
Sure.
No, it was a Bengali guy, no? Anyways, coming back to the memories you're talking about, I would say the first one, obviously, the ever-lingering one has to be that first game.
Yeah.
Although all I did was just take 2 catches, did nothing else apart from feeling scared.
Because he couldn't give the ball only. Because by the time they had to give the ball to him, the match was over.
Match was done. So great memories of that game. And just the entire year, because we had a great group of people. We didn't have the results which we needed. We were getting a gift, a game. So much so that John Buchanan had to put a stop beyond the point because we were losing, but still getting gifts a game. And the second bit, which I feel very strongly, is about not cricket, but about the hotel staff. So if you were in Bengal or whichever team you played for, and I feel the memories from IPL is it was such an unconditional love that they gave you. Because they were from there.
Lovely.
And the most important thing is they were becoming your family. They knew exactly what your preferences were. At breakfast, how you wanted your clothes to be laundered. And just those 60 days of them giving you, it was transactional. We were going to go away. We didn't know whether, with the way IPL goes, you don't know whether you're going to come back to the same franchise.
Correct.
But the kind of love that you got from the hotel staff was absolutely unconditional. And one memory which is also etched in me is the second year, Joydev. We had a beautiful bus cavalcade in Cape Town.
Yeah.
In Cape Town, and with Shah Rukh and the entire team. I've never been part of a victory parade, so I wouldn't know. But this was the closest I got to it. And again, just the way we were treated on those roads, I think it's etched in.
I remember before the first game of the first IPL, Saurav Ganguly said it's a contest between two state sides with world-class players. It's clearly gone above and beyond that. It's
nobody had any idea
transformed into something that no one imagined.
Nobody had any idea how big. And I remember the first thing, the conference, we had a press conference the day before. And Saurav and Rahul were there and they're good friends and both were very nervous because none of them knew this new format. So they asked Saurav that, who do you think? He says, okay, Rahul might win on his home ground, but we'll win at the Eden Gardens. I mean, little did anybody know what a monster the IPL would turn out to be.
And also think of it, the first year, the squad strength has always been 25.
Yeah.
So the purse was 20 crores. Now it is 120 crores for the same set of 25 people. The first few years we were sold in dollars.
Yeah.
And now we were sold in
40
rupees.
to the dollar. Huh?
Yeah, 40 to the dollar, set for 3 years. The dollar went to 60 or 67, we were still getting it.
40.
It has changed lives, though. It has changed Indian cricket.
Yeah,
it's given Indian cricket and world cricket a lot of players that were first discovered on this big stage of the IPL. Now, KKR, RCB in action, defending champions versus a team that's never been a defending champion. With due respect, RCB fans don't mind. It could be their season. Safe to say, Joy, that this rivalry is, without the titles aside, this rivalry is very much on par with an MI versus CSK.
It's a rivalry. It's definitely a rivalry. From that very first game, because it's smart for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Then after that, RCB got a series of wins against KKR. And in fact, there was 1 year, I think it was 2010 or 11. It was 2010, I think, where KKR played RCB in Bangalore.
Yeah.
And after that, there was a match where Shah Rukh and we led a KKR sort of seniors team, KKR sort of owners team, play an RCB owners team. And they won that match also. And that time, I think one of the RCB players went around with this thing saying that even this match you can't win. So there was an edge. There was always an edge to it. And I think that's good for cricket because you need people to have edges, rivalries. That's what defines sport. I mean, derbies are what defines sport. So a little bit of a rivalry. Then Kolkata, dismissing RCB for 49 all out. The next year, RCB takes all the bowlers that, KKR had taken. So they've had, it's been something there. There's been an edge to the contest. There's always been an edge to the contest.
Would you also say that the Virat Kohli and the Gautam Gambhir spat also adds a bit of spice to it?
Yeah,
Surely.
Not that I want to rake any old scars, but if you... No, I actually feel that. I feel that very strongly. I said sometimes you want those scars to subside. You don't want anybody to rake it up and not to play it out in any way. But I think that also adds to it. And the bragging rights are actually with KKR if you look at it.
Yep. Two high-profile sides, two very passionate sets of fans. Both sides, though, will focus on one man. Virat Kohli, the king, not captain, clearly still is their linchpin. He is their main man. And guess what? On Voltas Fresh Air Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live, we thought we'll introduce something new called #FixThisStat. What's that stat? It's Virat Kohli versus Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narine. Now, these are numbers that surely would be reminded to Kohli time and again on social media, on cricket shows, everywhere, on Twitter as well. Out to these two 5 times. Clearly, he's played Narine more and therefore dismissed 4 times. You take that average, but that strike rate, Joy, is poor.
See, I'll tell you. Here's my theory about this, okay? Virat Kohli has for a while been the most important batter of their team. There was a time when they had De Villiers and Gale, but for a long time, he's been their main bat, the guy who they expect to play 20 overs. So even if a De Villiers or a Gale was going mad, he was the guy who was expected to play 20 overs. There must have been a talk in the dressing room saying that, especially against Sunil, and remember, Sunil and Varun together is just a very recent phenomenon. Yeah. But for those years before that, just play Sunil out. Your best batter should not take a risk against Sunil Narine, because if he's around after Narine is gone, he'll take toll of the other bowlers. Yeah. And I think there must be a philosophy that they followed, because that average shows that he's not getting out too many times. So what I'm saying is, I think as their main batter, he might have been trying to play them out. Now the danger is, I don't think now if you have 8 overs of between Narine and Chakravarti, then playing them out is not that easy anymore. So I think somebody will have to take risks against
that. Philosophy would go out of the window if they're chasing clearly. Because this could be costly.
Look at it again. We look at cold numbers. It's about how he paces it.
Sure.
And this is something which me and Joy were talking about. The same thing. You look at it. There are times when in team discussions, you earmark a bowler saying that this is the key bowler. Yeah. You think of a Malinga. You think of a Sunil Narine of old who used to come on to bowl 16, 18, 20. And he was going at 4.5 that economy at that point of time. This was before he had to remodel his action. Yeah. He was tough to get away. And think of the times where you have to actually say to your own team as a coach or a captain, I don't want this guy getting wickets. Yeah. He might go for 24 if it's a 4-over game. I don't mind him going for 45 if it's a 10-over game, but I don't want him getting wickets. Yeah. And I think that is one of the reasons why that average could be the way it seems.
Yeah, your average is over how many years? If Sunil Narine has been playing since 2012, it's been 13 years. So my point is that average is also skewed in terms of strike rate would be skewed. Because I would think Sunil Narine would probably be going, somebody like a Virat may be going at an 80, 85, 90 at him before. Yeah. And now it has had to increase. Because look at totals have also increased in the IPL. Yes. So perhaps playing at 6 and over, you could play at 6 and over in 2013 and win games. In 2014, you can't anymore, perhaps.
And also, that's why I said that those 8 overs, is it staggered? Are they going to bowl together? When do they come to bowl together? As a captain, if you seize that opportunity saying that this is the time to put the squeeze on and I get these 2 bowlers together, at that point of time, you have to take the calculated chance or the calculated risk. So it's a very fluid one. It's a very interesting way of looking at it. But thinking of Virat Kohli, that average does a lot. That average of 40 is not bad at all.
We on cricket shows can dissect, analyze, pontificate all we want, but the king knows it. I read Pratyush Sinha's preview on the Cricbuzz app, and he did refer to how Kohli spent a lot of time alone with his bats, getting the stickers right. He would have spent a lot of time thinking about the IPL as that one box that is not ticked yet. The king knows what he needs to do, and no one from the outside can tell him what to do.
I agree with you there, because now he's got all the monkeys off his back. He won a World Cup in 2011. He's beaten Australia in Australia. He has now won a T20 World Cup. He has now won a Champions Trophy. So now he's taken everything. Everything that he needs to do, he's done. Now, if you look at it, last year, 740 runs, and look at that strike rate, 154. The year before that, everyone was talking about the fact that Virat's batting at 120, at 130. You can't bat like that anymore. He's done it. He and Faf were, we are talking about Sunil and Phil Salt, who won the tournament for KKR. But the truth is that actually the most successful combination in terms of runs and strike rate were actually those two. It was Faf and
They won
Kohli.
6 on a bounce, isn't it? At a stage where everybody had written them off, and RCB bounced back, rallied back with 6 wins on the bounce to make the playoffs.
Virat Kohli is like a fixed deposit that gives returns like a blue chips share, doesn't he? I mean, if he can have a season like this, that's half the job done.
Look,
Because it does have a positive.
I'm not an investment guy.
They still haven't won.
Sure, but it can have a very positive ripple effect on the rest of the lineup.
Look, he is somebody everybody looks up to. The reason why I say that, it's not just the performance on the field that you see. You have to see the way he trains, the way he prepares. Every day is a day to improve for Virat Kohli. So I don't know investment from an investment point of view, but from a cricket point of view, I think he's somebody everybody looks up to. Everybody wants to emulate.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to impress. Sometimes when you become the senior statesman, the youngsters coming into the side want to impress you the most.
Yeah.
And so it's not just him alone. Look, people can say whatever. Virat Kohli is not playing an individual game for him to win tournaments. Sachin Tendulkar played with a great side for a long time, but ultimately 2011 is the time when he came to win the World Cup. Yeah. So it's not the side sometimes, it's sometimes things going for you as well.
Yeah.
So thinking of Virat Kohli this year, the way he's been, the kind of form he's coming into, if he has a great year, of course, it's a mouth-watering prospect. But apart from that, what I'm happy is that RCB have covered a lot of bases which they didn't cover the years before, or where people pointed fingers. And I think it's looking a lot more balanced and a settled side around Virat.
It can also be looked at as the start of a new era. New captain Rajat Patidar, he's also enjoyed Virat Kohli's endorsement. Now, you, Harsha and Gaurav discussed how just imagine if Virat Kohli gets to chase in the opening game. And that's exactly what's happening. RCB won the toss and decided to field first. There was some confusion with Patidar on the impact subs. It can happen, right? For a new captain, who are my impact subs? It can be very confusing.
Do you know the entire squad of both teams?
No idea. It'll take me a week. That's what the problem is with these first season, right? In a 3-year cycle.
Especially after big auctions.
Yeah, exactly. But this augurs well for Virat. He enjoys the big stage. If KKR score 180, 190, Virat Kohli, chase master, gets into it.
Look, I think it's great for them. And I think in Patidar is one of the weapons that they have against one of the best players of spin. And remember, we are talking about Patidar as a captain and Virat as the main man. Patidar also has just literally took MP on his shoulders and carried them through the Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. Yeah. He literally took them to the finals, got 66, beat Delhi, made 81 in the finals. They just fell 5 short. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that Patidar is a very, very capable player. And especially against spin, he's the guy who's expected to attack while, Virat and all take their time. Yeah. So he's also important. I think Virat, as a chaser, obviously, there's no question of talking about Virat as a chaser. He's the best chaser in the world. Yeah. White ball cricket has ever seen. Ever seen. But I like it. It's set up now.
Yeah.
Kolkata to bat first, total set. Kohli to chase under the lights. And now a situation where in the 11th over, umpire can change the ball also.
In the second, yeah, of course. But Rajat Patidar, first taste of him, of IPL captaincy, of very high-profile franchise, perhaps the most passionate, the most loyal fan base as well. He knows what the expectation is. But the big plus is that he enjoys Virat Kohli's endorsement. And he's also alluded to the fact that Rajat Patidar could be the man that will lead you for a very, very long time. This is very well deserved. Clearly, Patidar owes his IPL career to Virat Kohli, safe to say, because if he did not enjoy Virat Kohli's trust, he may not have been in the side.
Look, you need that. It's not as if Rajat Patidar is a household name. He's a wonderful cricketer. He's somebody who we all like playing. We saw the wonderful 100 he has got, the way, as Joyda described him. He's a very good player, but he's not a household name. For him to be entrusted with a high-profile job, where your fans, literally, you and me say something, RCB fans will be sitting on our head right now. Yeah. So imagine, they have been unconditional, as you said, absolutely unconditional. Whatever happens, they say, "Ee sala cup namde." They hope and they pray that happens. It's just him also to feel very secure about himself, because sometimes captaincy can be handed, lots of things can be said around you, but it's what you feel about yourself, it's what you feel about the job that has been given to you. I think it all has to sit well with Rajat Patidar, the player himself.
This decision, Joy, wouldn't have happened without, I shouldn't use the word blessing, but without Virat Kohli's
No,
approval.
absolutely. I mean, somebody like Mo Babat, Andy Flower, they would have spoken to this one. Virat asked him about it, definitely with his blessing. Secondly, I think you're absolutely right. If you look at fan bases, Bengaluru is the kindest and most loyal fan
Yeah,
base.
if you say Bangalore also, they get on top of you. You're so used to saying Bangalore all our lives.
Yeah, it's a kindest fan base. That means it's kind on its own players.
Correct.
A lot of fan bases turn on their own players very fast.
Absolutely.
Bangalore is very kind on its players. They're a good fan base. But I'll tell you the man you should really, really thank. Every year, Rajat Patidar should write a letter to him. His name is Labneet Sisodia. Because had he not got injured, Rajat Patidar had not even been picked by RCB. He was picked as a replacement, and RCB has a habit of doing well with replacements.
Yeah.
If you remember 2011 and Dirk Nannes getting injured.
got injured. Chris Gale came
And
in.
Chris Gale
He
came
was
in.
not even picked in the original auction.
Yeah.
And I had to send him the message that you have not been picked in the original auction. Both of us have got unsold on day one.
But Joy, you've seen the action.
This was because he was there, no, at the other side.
Come on now.
No dinner for me today.
I'll take care of it. Today, I've been taught a few things by Mr. Kapoor. He's our head of F&B, so he's given me a few instructions on what to order. But Joy, captaining a high-profile side like this, you've seen the action from close quarters. You've seen young players propel their careers. You've seen a few players sort of not do as well as they should. What is it like to captain a side like RCB?
It's a tinderbox. You're just sitting out there. It's a very high-profile job. The plus point is, I think, what's going to happen is this thing is that the tough part is immediately on now, because as he's a fielding captain to start with, and I think that's the tougher part of it, because when you're, as a batting captain, you have a far more support. You're sitting there outside. Most of the time, you have this opportunity to talk to a lot of people. So I think he's going to do the tough part first, and it's going to pass in a blaze. The question is, how do you keep your form? Because what's going to happen is you're going to get victories, you're going to get losses. The thing about it is to be able to maintain your equanimity, because the pressure is phenomenal. So if you can keep your shape and form as a player, as a team, and a lot of how he does, how he doesn't do will also depend. And I think he's going to get a lot of support from Flower and Kohli, because they're aware that it is a big responsibility on a young shoulder. Not young so much as he's 30 years old, but young in terms of international experience.
Kartik, batting aside, what is Kohli's role to make sure Patidar succeeds as captain?
Look, the most important thing is that you can be a great cushion. Again, I'll come back to that. You can be a great cushion, you can be a constant support, you can have his back. But again, just in addition to what Joyda said, sometimes as a captain, you are thinking of the end result. We talk about South Africa.
Yeah.
We think of Rajat Patidar, who's been given this captaincy. Is Rajat Patidar thinking current, or is Rajat Patidar thinking, oh, I need to be the captain to deliver that victory which has been so elusive? Yeah. If you start putting that kind of pressure on yourself, your batting starts to get affected. Yeah. The kind of words that you say in the dressing room is so important. Sometimes, why is a Ricky Ponting, why is a Rohit Sharma, why are they great captains? Because even when their form was not there, they've got the authority and the standing in that dressing room to say what they have to say. Because sometimes you are misfiring as a captain, and sometimes we feel diffident. Oh, I'm not doing it. How can I say something to a player? So that is very important in a high quality side with the likes of Virat, Kohli, Phil Salt, all these international players, established international players. A young man has been given the job, and now you're thinking, oh, you don't freeze. That's the kind of comfort you want from your seniors.
I think that's very, very fair point. And to be able to necessarily call them out if necessary. That I don't think you did what you could do. Let's, to call, I mean, look, to a certain extent, I remember, when we first became producers in ESPN Star Sports, and you're producing Sunil Gavaskar's commentary.
100%.
Okay? Now, you have to say what you think. You cannot then defer to him because your job. So as a captain, you have to do it. And I have to say one more thing. The most successful captains on the field, the biggest thing, and it's very easy to say, but it's the most difficult thing in the world to do, is focus on process and not result. It's the toughest thing in the world. To say कि ठीक है तू यहाँ ball डाल, अब जो होगा सो होगा. But this is where I've put the field. This is process. And the problem is most captains, when they're going, they start after a while focusing on result and think, what happens if I win or lose? And they lose. And if you see Dhoni's captaincy, the biggest thing about it is process.
People get irritated with it. They think it's all, cliched again and again, but that is the word. He just stays with it. And you think of, again, we are going off track. Think of Shubman Gill. When you follow Hardik Pandya after 2 years, and then suddenly your batting takes a toss, you're suddenly thinking of a side which has already won. So these are the kind of small things. And he's an established player for India. He's done well. So Rajat Patidar, how that crown sits on him, what he thinks of himself, has to be quite stable right through the year.
On-field body language is key as well. Now, KKR as well, winds of change there. Remember, no Gautam Gambhir, Shreyas Iyer has gone elsewhere. A couple of their key players are not a part of KKR. And a lot of very passionate Kolkata fans. One of them our producer. Now, he's not sent a question, but another cricket fan, a Cricbuzz fan, has sent in a question. Let's take a look at it with hashtag #AskCricBuzzLive. This one comes in from Albert Thorpil. What a lovely name, Albert. He says, auction day to 3:33 p.m. unsold. 9:27 p.m. sold at base price. Is Rahane an accidental captain for Kolkata?
Okay, can I be honest? That clearly tells you one thing. He was not their first choice as captain. Let's be very honest about it. Does that mean that he's not going to be a good captain? Different thing. This clearly tells you one thing. Obviously, if he was captaincy material, they would not have taken the risk of allowing him to be unsold and bought him back. B is that you don't want to do that to your captain. You don't want to say that I didn't put a bid for my captain the first time around.
Yeah.
So clearly that has, circumstances happened, the players they wanted, they didn't get, they got him in. Okay. They got him in at that point also. I don't think they would have said, oh, we've got him in, he's our captain. They said, we've got him in. Then 7 days later or 5 days later, once the auction sort of subsides, they would say, okay, now what do? This is our squad. We've paid 23.75 crores for Venkatesh Iyer. Do we make him captain? If not, do we make Sunil Narine captain? Is Andre Russell going to be captain? Who are the kind of candidates? Let's look at the list of candidates. And you look at the list of candidates, KKR is a very strange mix. Like the Sunil Narines and Andre Russells of the world. I mean, remember, Sunil Narine is captaining the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. But clearly, perhaps during the IPL, they might have asked him and he may not have wanted to take the pressure on himself during a big tournament.
Also handling the Indian players. I think handling the Indian players becomes key. You have your foreign players who will take care of themselves sometimes. And you still need some of them still need TLC, as does every human being. Yeah. But I think it's handling the Indian players sometimes. And also, you're right, when you look at it, maybe he was not in the original plans. Yeah. But when you've made a plan, when you've made a team, and then you look at that squad of 25, who's the best man for the job?
That's the way they would have looked at it. And they would have said that, okay, even if he may not be an automatic pick, we will make him an automatic pick and give him 6, 7, maybe 8 games and say, okay, this is the amount of security we're giving you. Go there and do your thing.
I think he's coming off a good form.
He comes in with experience.
Yeah,
he said good captaincy form as well. Yep. Won Mumbai the title, the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy.
But he was not the captain.
He scored a lot of runs.
Yeah, he scored a lot of runs.
But he'll enjoy the respect of the players around.
Look, he's a lovely character. He's a genial human being. I don't think you see certain players in Indian cricket, people like Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Ajinkya Rahane, having played for India hasn't changed them as human beings. Ajinkya Rahane is that character. Yeah. He's been the same person, nothing's changed. And I think that is what gets the respect of most players, apart from the fact that you're such an experienced campaigner. You're such a good player. Don't take it away from him. Yeah. People wrote him off. But the thing is, under MSD in CSK, suddenly there was a resurgence. So, till the time somebody doesn't stop playing, you never know when his form is going to come back. And it could be that this responsibility adds to that.
Whose team is this? Is it Chandu Pandit's team? Is it Ajinkya Rahane's team?
Look, at this point in time, if Ajinkya Rahane has taken it on himself and he's captain, he's going to go through. He's going to be the one who goes through, because I think that's how he looks at it.
Right.
And remember, he's a man who, after his team got out for 36 all out, won a test match, captaining India abroad, scoring a century. 16 test centuries, he's tough. Don't underestimate him.
KKR batting first. RCB won the toss and they've chosen to field first. Let's take a look at KKR's 11 for this opening game of IPL 2025. Spencer Johnson, the left-arm variety, is there. But we'll talk about the batting first. Quinton de Kock, the chosen opener. Alongside him, possibly will be Sunil Narine, Venkatesh Iyer at 4, possibly Rahane at 3. They've got Rinku, Ramandeep and Ankush Raghuvanshi, the youngster as well. So this team looks very similar to the team sheet from last year.
The team sheet comes in, but yeah, Sunil Narine got open there.
Yeah.
Sunil Narine should open there, because we were talking again off air. Somebody like Sunil Narine at 7-8, I feel, is wasted.
Yeah.
So obviously, Quinton de Kock and Sunil Narine will open. But the big key and the big question will be the kind of partnership, can he forge the same kind of partnership which he had with Phil Salt with Quinton de Kock?
KKR, of course, bowling second, and that means they will go for a bowler, hoping that they may not need. Let's take a look at the impact subs. Clearly, Nokia, the most likely, bowling second, or would you go with someone like a Vaibhav Arora?
You mentioned Loveneet Sisodia and he's there.
Loveneet Sisodia is there, exactly. This is the match he needs to be there. It'll be interesting. But obviously, Manish Pandey and Loveneet Sisodia are there in case of a batting collapse.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise they don't play. They're going to go look at the bowlers. I think if you can just go back to the 11, because I'm thinking whether Nokia can bowl or not.
Nokia can bowl.
He can.
Who?
No, he can't. Sorry, 4 overseas.
4 overseas. So who does he replace? And that's why I'm thinking Nokia, you can't get him under normal circumstances.
No, you can't, clearly. So it will be one.
Unless and until QDK is...
does not keep. If QDK does not keep...
will keep in his place. Venkatesh Iyer? No.
Right. What about RCB? Rajat Patidar, the captain, his first game as captain of a very high-profile franchise. A very, very important game. This one, Philip Salt moves from Kolkata to Bengaluru. He'll be there up top, but Bengaluru bowling first. That bowling lineup, Hazelwood, the experienced man, Suyash Sharma, former KKR boy, has bowled a lot at the Eden Gardens, Rasikdar Salam as well. This lineup, does it inspire enough confidence, Joy, for you?
Look, I think their bowling is not the greatest under these circumstances, though they're playing 2 spinners out here, and Suyash has done well in Kolkata when he's bowled. But it's not the greatest spin attack. But look, otherwise it's on expected lines. There was a thought that, will Tim David play? Will Bethel play? Bethel probably also is still nursing an injury. So Tim David is a man.
No Bhuvi.
That batting side sounds formidable. No Bhuvi. That's a big call.
He isn't on the impact subs either.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe there's an injury or I don't know what it is.
Clearly, Padikkal comes in.
Padikkal comes in as a bat. Yeah, there's no question at all.
At number 3.
Yeah.
Who's your top 4 will be Salt?
Phil Salt, Virat
Kohli, Padikkal at 3.
Patidar
at 4.
TDP.
Followed by Livingston, Jitesh,
Yeah,
Tim
you got
David.
some good hitters there.
It's a formidable batting side.
Yeah, Jitesh is a good finisher. Tim David is a wonderful finisher. So, yeah. And I actually look at the bowling side and I feel Krunal Pandya is a very effective player. Somebody like Krunal can be sent as a floater depending on the situation. He's a very handy cricketer. I actually rate him as a T20 bowler because he's extremely sharp, extremely good and wily.
You got to be very sharp when you take a look at this joy factor question as well. I've been told it's a gentle loosener, sir.
No, it's not a gentle loosener, but okay.
Thank God you were never my examiner. I would have failed every exam.
No, but Kartik, this one has something which... This player who played just 3 international matches was run out without facing a ball on his T20 international debut in 2007. Name him. You will remember him because of a historic incident in the IPL. I mean, historic day in the IPL. That's all.
Okay.
Mull over it. The latest from Kolkata is that the first ball was a dot. The second one was a boundary. Pretty good start for KKR, batting first. Your predictions, 20 overs.
I would say 204.
QDK Narine opening.
204.
I like that number, sir.
188.
I'm going to go 194. Lock it. Leave your predictions in the comment section as well. Guess what? It's getting really hot outside. It'll be really hot on the field, and therefore you need to come back right here on the show that we call Voltas Fresh Air Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. Bye-bye.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲಿನ